Welcome back. Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Bears won the toss. They defer, so we will see Brock Osweiler and the Miami Dolphins offense first. Let's go down to the field. And the third member of our team. More on that quarterback situation. Here's Doug Gottlieb.
Guys, last week Ryan Tannehill was battered and bruised behind a patchwork offensive line, but it wasn't until Wednesday when he felt some shoulder discomfort. That was his first throw day. It got progressively worse through the week. On Friday, he finally appeared on the injury report. About an hour and a half ago, they announced Brock Osweiler would be the starter. Now, before you freak out and say Osweiler can't win, his first start with the Denver Broncos was against the Bears. His first start with the Texans was against the Bears. Both ended up in victories.
All right, Doug, thank you. Osweiler be making his first start since November of last year. Here's Adam Gase. And Matt Nagy in his first season. Adam Gase, his third season as head coach. Cody Parkey kicked things away. And back deep with Jakeem Grant. We're underway here in Miami. Grant, one of the most dangerous return men in the league. And the Dolphins will start things off at their own 25. And here comes Brock Osweiler. Last start, November 11th of 2017. And he took on Philadelphia. And that was during his second stint with the Broncos. You can see his career stats there. This will be his 26th career start.
Yeah, and what I'm looking for out of Brock Osweiler today is what we heard in Adam Gase's emotional conversation with us. He was very adamant and very confident in his trust level and his ability to run their offense.
Osweiler from the gun. All right, head is Frank Gore. Gore picks up a couple. We take a look here at the Miami Dolphins offense, and again, they've had some injuries there on the offensive line. Laramie Tunsil was in the concussion protocol this week, but he's getting the start. And Kenyon Drake, he is one of their most explosive running backs. You will see him in as well. Osweiler. And that's complete to Nick O'Leary, the tight end. Prince Amukamara with the stop.
And that's the start you want. You want to get the little jitters out of your quarterback who hasn't played in a while. Start him off with a run, easy throw, first down, move the chains. Your emotions kind of drop and everything kind of slows down now.
Bears' second-ranked defense in the National Football League. Khalil Mack has been everything for them. Another handoff, Frank Gore, straight up the middle. Eddie Golden with the stop for Chicago, and there is Khalil Mack. And what has he not done for Chicago? First player with a sack and a forced fumble in 4 straight games since Robert Mathis did it with Indianapolis back in 2008. Khalil Mack has just been on an incredible, dominant run. This is 2nd and 6. Osweiler over the middle. And it's incomplete. He was looking in the direction of Kenny Stills.
Yeah, you got 2 speed guys there. I don't know if someone was running the wrong route or they just got a little too deep over Kenny Stills running the post from the backside. We saw Albert with the out and up. Both speed guys, as I mentioned. Osweiler can't throw it into space like that. He has to be focused and throw it on point.
Third and 6, critical for the Dolphins. They can't stay on the field. They're converting just 31% of their third downs. Over the middle, in and out of the hands of Albert Wilson. He had it.
And you gotta make this catch. It's a perfectly thrown ball. Third down, you have a chance to, again, sustain the drive. You have to make that catch for a quarterback. On the drop, it's simple. Really, you as a receiver, you're taught don't ever allow the ball to cross your eyes. You want the ball to stay out in front where you can pluck it and then run with the ball.
Matt Hawk will kick things away. Tariq Cohen standing back inside of his own 10. Cohen, the second-year pro out of North Carolina A&T. Fair catch called by Cohen right at the 10. So when we come back, Mitch Trubisky and that Chicago Bears offense. No score here in Miami. Welcome back to Miami. Chicago's first offensive possession, and first look at Mitchell Trubisky. And what a game he had last time out against the Buccaneers a couple weeks ago. Threw for 6 touchdown passes, second most in NFL history in the game. He'll start from the gun. As Jordan Howard now joins him in the backfield. Play fake over the middle. That's incomplete, intended for Allen Robinson. Let's take a look here at the Chicago Bear offense. Kyle Long, Eric Kush, those guys up front. Tariq Cohen is one of their home run hitters out of that backfield, along with Jordan Howard. Trey Burton at the tight end. Here's 2nd and 10. He gives it to Howard. He falls forward for a couple. Robert Quinn makes the stop for the Dolphins. Here's that Dolphin defense. Robert Quinn, notice no Cameron Wake. He's been out with a knee injury for the past few weeks. Kiko Alonso leads that linebacking core. And then Rashad Jones, he is their playmaker and the quarterback of their defense. 3rd and 8 here for the Bears. Pump fake over the middle. He's got a man open and overthrows. Anthony Miller, the rookie out of Memphis.
He had Anthony Miller wide open. The Dolphins went with a cover 2, which is a 2-high safety. You're going to see Anthony Miller just run and take the middle of the field from the slot, which is where they like him. If you're Mitchell Trubisky, you have to put this ball on point and give your playmaking rookie a chance to make a play. He hits him there, we may see him in the paint. He may go all the way.
Jakeem Grant is back deep. Pat O'Donnell will be punting things away for the Bears. Keep in mind, Jakeem Grant last week against Cincinnati had a 71-yard punt return for a touchdown. He makes the fair catch at the 46. Let's take another look at this Bears defense. You can see what these guys, 2nd best defense in the NFL. They average 4.5 sacks a game. That leads the NFL. They're stingy when it calls to giving up the run.
And a lot of the focus is on Khalil Mack, but Akeem Hicks has made and is making just as much of an impact on this defensive front 7 as Khalil Mack is. He didn't play in the second half. He was ejected in the first half of that game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he's rearing to go. He said, destroy. That was his word he used when it came to this game today.
Hand off to Gore. Gore maybe a yard. He's wrapped up. Roquan Smith, that's the 1st round pick for the Bears out of Georgia.
You gotta love that Frank Gore is still going strong. I talked to him at practice on Friday, and he just said, until I see that I can't go with these young guys, that's when I know I can't make it happen.
People may be surprised. He's the 4th leading rusher in the National Football League is Frank Gore. Here's Kenyon Drake. Drake straight up the middle. Met right there by Trevathan and Roquan Smith.
We talk about Frank Gore, but they like Kenyon Drake a lot. He gives them that changeup. You're talking about lightning in a bottle. That's what you get when he's on the football field. He can beat you in the air, catching the ball out of the backfield, and he can definitely take it the distance when you hand the ball off to him.
Another 3rd down here for the Dolphins. You know, this Bears unit, they've allowed just 10 points over the past 7 quarters. They have been stingy. Dolphins one of the worst right now in the league in converting 3rd downs. Osweiler looks. It's complete to Grant. And we've got a flag on the play.
You're going to see that they're switching it up with Jakeem Grant. They got him split out wide, one-on-one coverage. He gets held he gets held during his route, which is what the flag is probably going to be.
Illegal contact, number 23, defense. Penalty is declined. Result of play, completed pass, first down.
Swald Anderson, he's our referee. Kyle Fuller, the penalty's on him. Taking a look.
But you're going to see him right here. He's gonna release, a little stutter. We call it a spin and go. Brock Osweiler does a great job of staying with him. He understands if I can just get the ball in his hands, he's going to do some special things afterwards.
25-yard pickup for the Dolphins. They're looking now at 1st and 10.
180!
From the Bears 23. They take the reverse. They give to Gore up the middle. Khalil Mack makes the stop.
You know, we talk about this Bears defense and how exciting they are, how they get after the quarterback. But one of the things that Vic Fangio mentioned was getting off the football field, not just because it's 3rd down, but to keep their guys fresh, to eliminate allowing this heat to be a factor.
Miller! Hot! 180!
That Stills in motion. Osweiler looks his way and goes over the middle. And that's complete to Danny Amendola. And he's flipped up in the air, now to draw a flag.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. You just absolutely can't pick up a guy and power drive him to the ground.
It looks that's going to be on Leonard Floyd.
Yeah, you're going to see Danny Amendola just get picked up by Leonard Floyd and just power driven to the ground.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 94, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
You know, as good as the Bears defense has been, it's surprising that Leonard Floyd, no sacks. And even their defensive coordinator told us that, listen, he broke his right hand during the preseason. It's kind of slowed him down. It didn't slow him down trying to pick up Danny Amendola there, but that's one of those penalties you can't have.
You can't have that. And when I look at Leonard Floyd, it's not that he's not able and capable of making plays, but when you have a premier pass rusher opposite you, your job sometimes is to funnel the quarterback to that side so that it makes it easier for Khalil Mack.
1st and goal for the Dolphins. From the 7, Bears only team that's not given up a rushing touchdown so far this season. And they give us to Gore. He's down at the 5. And so far this season, nobody has fewer red zone TDs than the Miami Dolphins. They have just 5 thus far on the season.
You know, anytime you drive the ball this deep into your opponent's red zone, coming away with points is one thing. Coming away with touchdowns could prove wins or losses at the end of the day.
And that was one of the things that Coach Gase told us. We've got to score in the red zone. Here's Osweiler. Swings it out. Touchdown! Dolphins! Nick O'Leary, the tight end, makes the catch.
I like what Adam Gase is doing. He's keeping things simple, but he's allowing his team to take shots, and they're hitting his shots. We talked to him in the production meeting, and he talked about hitting when I call the plays. What he meant by that was when I call shot plays, we have to execute. We have to make sure we connect. That puts us in position to score. When we're in position to score, we stick it in the end zone, and they just did it there.
Jason Sanders with the extra point, and it's good. All of this was set up on that penalty by Leonard Floyd. And then Brock Osweiler to Nick O'Leary. It's the Fins up 7-0 early here on the Bears. So the Dolphins go 54 yards, did it in 7 plays. 3 minutes, 39 seconds. They're on top 7-0. Nick O'Leary, going into this game, he didn't have any catches. He's already got 2 today, one of them for a touchdown. Somewhere the Golden Bears saying, that's my grandson. He's the grandson of the great Jack Nicklaus. Back deep, Benny Cunningham. Jason Sanders to kick things away. And the Bears will start from their own 25. Good start for Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, when we look at this play here, you're going to see Nick in the backfield at the fullback position. You got Frank Gore behind in I formation. You run a simple lead look. You suck the safety up in Eddie Jackson, who's a young player, and you just run your fullback tight end out to the drag, and you get an easy touchdown. It doesn't get any easier than that. Again, you love what Adam Gase is doing because he's keeping it simple, but he's mixing it up at the same time.
Trubisky fakes it out and gets it to Taylor Gabriel. Gabriel, about a yard shy of a first down. Rashad Jones makes the stop.
And we're going to see a lot of this all game. We talked to Matt Burke, and we talked to Rashad Jones. We talked to Kiko Alonso. They all talked about the Bears offense looking like a magic show. They show a lot of motion and movement, but they run simple plays, the same plays, just in different formation variations.
And you'll hear a lot about Rashad Jones, who made that tackle. That's the defensive coordinator, Matt Burke. Another quick one to Gabriel. And look at that stop. Good open field tackle. Torrey McKyer.
That's a great open field tackle on a guy like Taylor Gabriel. You get the ball in his hands. You expect him to make the first guy miss. That's always the expectation. Make the first guy miss and then get north and south. Well, he wasn't allowed to get north and south because he never made the first guy miss. Great open field tackle.
McKyer made his first NFL start just last week. 3rd and 1. And Trubisky will keep it. Runs forward. It's first down. They'll move the sticks for the Bears.
This is where the Chicago Bears have the advantage on both sides of the ball. In the trenches, when you look at their offensive line, you look at the defensive line of the Miami Dolphins, you favor the Chicago Bears. You look at their defensive line, Chicago Bears, in the Miami offensive line, you favor the Chicago Bears defense. So the trenches will be won, or should be won, by the Chicago Bears this afternoon.
Cohen in the backfield. Trubisky, plenty of time. Rolls, keeps it. Steps out of bounds. 3 yards shy of a first down. Vincent Taylor chased him out, and that was one of the things the Dolphins said. We got to keep him in the pocket. We cannot let him escape.
Yes, close the escape lanes, keep him in the pocket, show him things that pre-snap he thinks is there, and then switch it up. On this play, Allen Robinson on the other side, and we see right there he had Anthony Miller, but Allen Robinson comes wide open on an in cut, and Mitchell Trubisky just missed him.
Trubisky came into this game with 117 yards rushing, picked up 8 on that one. Here's Cohen, maybe 1, and there's Kiko Alonso. Kiko Alonso is second right now in the NFL in tackles. He is a tackling machine for the Dolphins.
You know, there's some guys that play this game that you say, man, he's a player, he's a gamer. Kiko Alonso,
that's a football player.
He's a football player.
Yeah, he's a football player.
He's simply put a football player.
3rd and 1 here for the Bears. 1 of 2 so far on 3rd down. Shovel pass to Trey Burton. That should be enough to move the sticks. That was a good play because they certainly, the Dolphins went for the fake.
I love this play call by Matt Nagy. He understands what Tariq Cohen presents to a defense. You show as if you're going to allow him to take the handoff, and you run a little pitch. An easy first down pickup. It's those plays that you draw up as a coach that when they work in the game, they give you momentum.
Here's Trubisky. Escapes again. Throws it out to Cohen. Breaks the tackle down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. He's in Dolphins territory. Let's get a game break. Here's Chris Thompson.
Thanks, Brian. So the Falcons answer back after a Bucs opening drive touchdown with a touchdown of their own. Matt Ryan connecting with Mohamed Sanu for this 35-yard score. Falcons up 7-6. Brian, Greg, Doug, and a shout-out to Rich Gross.
Thanks, CT. 7-0. Dolphins here over the Bears in the first quarter. Second offensive series for Mitch Trubisky and these Bears. Now from the Dolphin 44. And we've got a flag.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Put them back close to midfield. We'll be looking at 2nd and 8. And, you know, Coach Nagy, he scripts his first 15 plays.
He does script the first 15 plays, and anytime you get an offensive penalty that moves you backwards, it takes you out of a rhythm. And when you script the plays and you have this comfort going and you got a drive going, it is paramount that you don't shoot yourself in the foot with offensive penalties in a delay game that's totally on your quarterback.
Here's Jordan Howard. Up the middle. He gets about 8 of those back.
Brian, when we look at this Bears offensive unit, they have so many weapons that sometimes we forget how effective Jordan Howard has been over the past 2 years. And he probably is looking at his offensive coordinator, head coach, Nagy, like, hey, I'm still here. Get me the ball. I can be just as effective as Cohen, as Robinson, as Gabriel, as all these weapons that we have. Utilize me too.
Well, I tell you what, Bears are 9-2 when he has the ball at least 20 times, and 2-22 when he carries it less than 20 times. Trubisky keeps it, slides, short of the first down. Raekwon McMillan and Kiko Alonso was right there. Fourth down and 1 is what the Bears will be facing. It looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming out with is that a Kevin White sighting?
That was one of the guys we brought up in the meeting.
We did. We asked, would we see Kevin White and how he's doing and progressing in this offense.
People forget he was a first-round pick 4 years ago, a top first-round pick. Cohen, the lone back. The pitch, Cohen, left side. Upended. What a tackle by Rashad Jones.
That's just a great play. I absolutely love watching Rashad Jones make plays like this. When he comes flying from deep and makes plays like this on shifty running backs, this is why you have a Rashad Jones on your defense. This is why when talking to Matt Burt, he understands what he provides to this defense. He is the engine that makes them go.
You know, Kiko Alonso had a great quote when he was talking about Rashad Jones. As they look to see, they're going to measure this one. I can tell you, that was one heck of a stop, and it is just inches short. Dolphins come up with a big stop. They've got a 7-0 lead here in Miami. Rashad Jones, he's the quarterback of the Dolphins defense, coming up with the big play to give the offense back the football. You know, Kiko Alonso, we're talking to him. He said he's like a lion chasing a gazelle on that football field, and that's exactly what you just saw. So he makes the stop. And now Brock Osweiler in the Dolphins offense. Great field position from their own 41. Shuffle pass. Gore. He breaks loose up the middle. Kyle Fuller makes the stop. But not before Frank Gore rolls off 18 yards.
This is what makes Frank Gore so special. He understands what he's trying to get done. Talking to him in practice, he says, The reason why I can make these cuts is because I only see color. When I see color moving, I know where the cut and where the ball is going to hit.
Chase, the hut. 180. The hut.
From the Bears 41, this is Albert Wilson. He's going to lose 4 there. Bryce Callahan makes the stop. You take a look here at his numbers. He is the 4th all-time leading rusher, over 14,000 yards. And that surprises some people, but this guy has been consistent. And even Adam Gase said that. He said, I know with Frank Gore, every time I give it to him, he's going to give me at least 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, he says, I can trust him. If he says you want 3rd and short, I'm going to get you 3rd and short if you give me the ball. But it's impressive because you don't see running backs have the longevity that he's been able to showcase over the course of his career.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. This is Amendola. He's back to the line of scrimmage. And Prince Amukamara making the stop for the Bears.
Danny Amendola, a huge pickup, in my opinion, for this Miami Dolphins offense. It gives them a consistent and solid slot player, a player that is dependable, that understands how to run routes in that slot position, but it gives them the leadership in that wide receiver unit that they were missing.
Breaking the timeout. Mitch Trubisky dueling against Brock Osweiler. So far, Osweiler with the advantage. They're up 7-0. Start of the 2nd quarter here in Miami. Adam Gase and his Dolphins up 7-0 over the Chicago Bears. This Dolphin squad will be looking at a 3rd and 8 from the Bears 39. The Fins offense ranked 29th in the league when it comes to converting 3rd downs. They're 1 of 2 so far today. Here's Osweiler. That one was tipped. Big Roy Robertson Harris. Looks like the Dolphins have punked this one away. Matt Hawk will come in. Osweiler had completed his last 6 passes until that one was tipped. Tariq Cohen standing inside the 10. Cohen lets it go. And it's knocked back into play, and there's a flag. Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
There is no foul on the play. The result is a touchback. Yep. First down, timeout.
So a big touchback. Mitch Trubisky and the Bears back in action when we come back. Second quarter here in Miami. Take a look at Mitchell Trubisky and what he did in week 4. The first quarter compared to today. You know, the Bears have owned really the middle part of games this season. They've outscored opponents 60-9 in the 2nd and 3rd quarters this season. That one's incomplete, and we've got a late flag.
Looks like they're going to get a hold on Kiko Alonso.
Pass interference, number 47, defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
You're right on it.
Brian, remember we were talking about him being a football player. Well, if there was one thing that he doesn't do well is cover. He's very aggressive. We talking to Tariq Cohen. They said they wanted to attack him, take advantage of his aggressiveness and his ability to come down on the run, show him different looks. They just did it right there.
First down now for Chicago from their own 24. Trubisky under pressure, sacked. Jonathan Woodard.
That's a great play by Woodard. He just comes off the edge, and Mitchell Trubisky never even saw him. He's right here. He's going to just come off the edge, beat his guy, and just keep pursuing. This is why you continue to play. Quarterback doesn't see you, turns right back into you. You get an easy sack. Great play there.
Loss of 7. Second down now is 17 from the Bears. From their own 17, Trubisky. Quickly to Allen Robinson. He's back at the original line of scrimmage.
And that sack is big. It's big because when you look at a young quarterback and you talk to a Matt Nagy and you understand what you're trying to do, you're trying to stay ahead of the chains on first and second down to make third down more presentable to your quarterback and you as an offensive play caller. But when you're sitting third and long against guys like Rashad Jones that are ball hawks, it never is comfortable.
Trubisky. That's complete. It's a first down. Taylor Gabriel makes the catch. He leads the team in catches so far this season.
You know, it's never comfortable until you convert a 3rd and 10 on an out route by your Taylor Gabriel. And all is forgiven.
That's a pickup of 13. Gabriel's been a great asset. One of their guys they signed in the offseason, signed him to a 4-year, $26 million deal in the offseason. Here's Howard, left side. Maybe a couple. Vincent Taylor's right there for the stop from the Dolphins.
You know, going back to that last play, Taylor Gabriel is one of those receivers that he really can do it all. It's just a matter of allowing him to do it all. His post corner route that he just ran to get the first down. He's one of the best route runners in the league. Obviously, he's really shifty, and in Atlanta, it was clear it out for Julio. Make big plays on the deep over routes. Well, Chicago is using him in any way they possibly can.
We go with a bunch set at the bottom and top of your screen. Trubisky under pressure, throws it up for Cohen, but too high. Had to get rid of it.
Yeah, you have to get rid of it, but those are the plays that alarm you a bit. You can't just turn and chuck the ball up in hopes that you have a player that can make a play. And a young quarterback, you would like to see him be more decisive. The conviction in his throwing, as Matt Nagy talked about in the production meeting.
Here's 3rd and 7. Trubisky going deep, looking for Gabriel, and overthrows it.
It's a flag out there. It looks like Gabriel just kind of slowed up.
Prior to the pass, holding number 24, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Torrey McTire.
Yeah, you're going to see Taylor Gabriel out here, and even though he gets held, you play through the whistle. Taylor Gabriel just gave up on this throw. Not saying that he could have gotten there, but man, anytime you get a free play, you know you got held. Finish through the whistle.
Well, that's a crucial penalty because it gives the Bears a first down there on 3rd down. And here's Jordan Howard. He plows forward for a couple. Don't forget the NLCS. Tomorrow, Brewers, Dodgers, you can catch it on FS1. Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete. Robinson. He's about a yard shy of a first down.
Allen Robinson, one of those newly acquired talents in their skill position at receiver. We got a player down.
Looks like Jonathan Woodard. He was promoted from the Dolphins practice squad just in September. 7-0 to score here in the second quarter. 7-0 to score here in the second quarter.
When you look at Khalil Mack, you see that ankle taped up right there.
Yeah, you're probably wondering, why hasn't the Bears gotten any rush? Well, take a look at what happened their last defensive series. That was Khalil Mack. Came up Gimpy, and then he went right into that blue medical tent.
Yeah, and I show that ankle tape because if you look closely at that last play we just showed, there was no ankle tape. So we know that something's going on with his ankle. I saw him working out with one of the trainers, seeing if he can apply pressure on that ankle. So we'll see how he looks for the rest of this game.
Here's 3rd and 1. Trubisky again. Quarterback sneak. That's the first down.
There's that advantage that I talked about earlier that the Chicago Bears clearly have in the trenches up front. 3rd and short.
And this is a really interesting game, not only for Coach Nagy, but for Coach Gaze as well. 2 division leaders. 2 teams have gotten off to really good starts. The Dolphins have dropped a couple, so a lot of people here want to see, are they the team that started off 3-0, or they're the team that's dropped a couple? And obviously for the Bears coming off this bye, people in Chicago very excited about the monsters of the Midway. Here's Cohen. Screen, and that thing is blown up.
That looked pretty disastrous from the start. He never got enough separation away from the offensive line. Anytime you run a screen play, you want the defensive line to get pushed, to get rushed up the field, to open everything up. Well, that never happened on that attempt at the screen play.
Well, it's a loss of 5. So now 2nd and 15 from the Miami 47. Here's Trubisky. Too high. He was looking in the direction of Anthony Miller, but he overthrew him.
This is where you start to see, okay, has Mitchell Trubisky taken the next step? In their game against the Buccaneers, you watch that game and he had so much time and he was poised and he was comfortable in the pocket. Well, this afternoon, he hasn't been too comfortable in that pocket. He's moving, they're showing him things pre-snap, switching it up, making him think a lot more.
Well, he said that last game against Tampa was a sigh of relief for him, and he said a breakthrough for the entire offense. Here's 3rd and 15. Under pressure. And he's sacked again. 2nd of the day. This time it's Vincent Taylor. 2nd-year pro out of Oklahoma State making the stop.
That's just great hustle by the big fella. He beats Kyle Long inside, and he just runs down Trubisky. He doesn't even have a chance to show his escapability on that play. Great play by Taylor there.
Loss of 6. Danny Amendola now back deep for the punt as Pat O'Donnell will come in and punt things away for Chicago. Amendola standing at his own 10. Khalil Mack. It's the return of the Mack. 7-0 to score here in Miami. A cancer diagnosis can come at any time, but regardless of the type of cancer, you can be prepared to fight it. The NFL and the American Cancer Society are continuing their long-time partnership on Crucial Catch to help the nation play offense against all types of cancer. Visit NFL.com/Crucial Catch to learn more and to complete the Defender for personalized tips on reducing your cancer risk.
Omaha!
Here's 1st and 10. Gore. Another pickup of about 4.
No, I just heard that Omaha, Omaha. It reminds me of Peyton Manning, who is here in the building. Not sure why he's here, but Brock Osweiler is well aware, and he's excited that he's here.
Poker, poker, 59 Sam. Hey, takes one.
Dolphins will go 5 wide now.
Omaha, set.
Frank Gore at the top of your screen. Osweiler over the middle. Amendola. Looks like we got a flag. I think somebody might have jumped off sides for Chicago.
Old start, number 77, offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's on Jesse Davis.
It's still second down.
On the Dolphins.
Yeah, you got your right guard right there. Look, when you got Akeem Hicks and Khalil Mack on the same side, you kind of want to get a jump start. So a part of me can't blame them, but you can't have it.
180.
Osweiler. Flushed out. He's going to keep it. Let's go down to the field. Doug Gottlieb.
Guys, couple quick injury reports. Khalil Mack was walked off gingerly after the last possession. He just had his right ankle taped. It was not taped beforehand. He looks fine. For the Dolphins, Jonathan Woodard's being evaluated for concussion. He's listed as questionable. First he went to the tent, and now he's in the locker room.
All right, Dougie, thank you. You see Mack there at the top. Lined up at the top. Dolphins 1 for 3 now on 3rd down. They're looking at 3rd and 5. Kenyon Drake has checked into the backfield. Osweiler swings it out to Drake. He cannot get away from the rookie Roquan Smith.
That's a great play by Roquan Smith, tackling in space. And everybody is very excited to have a Roquan Smith in the middle. Specifically, Khalil Mack. He spoke very highly of Roquan Smith, talking about his maturity and his smarts. That I've never been around a rookie that smart. That's some high praise from a Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Tariq Cohen standing at his own 30. Matt Hawk. This is Cohen. Dropped at about the 34-yard line. 47-yard punt, 5-yard return. Still 7-0 here in the second quarter. Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. This place underwent a $500 million renovation over the past 3 years. It's a great experience to watch a game. Let's go down to the field. Here's Doug Gottlieb.
Yeah, Stephen Ross put in $500 million. I'm here with Jackie Parr and with Jessica Williams. They're kind enough to let me sit with them as we watch the Dolphins take on the Bears.
Here's Trubisky down the sideline. Taylor Gabriel, what a snag.
What a play. What a throw. An even better catch. Taylor Gabriel.
47-yard completion. The Taylor Gabriel who went right over the top and went and got it.
He just tracks this ball perfectly, and this is what I'm talking about, not letting the ball cross your eyes. When you see an opportunity, you go get it. This is what makes this Bears offense so exciting and so promising, because they have so many players that can hit the home run.
He had a career-high 7 catches last week, Gabriel did. Trubisky. That was intended for Jordan Howard, incomplete. You see Trubisky there with that sleeve on his right arm. He wore the sleeve for the first time against Tampa a couple of weeks ago because he had a cut on his arm and he didn't want it bleeding everywhere. So that's the only reason why he wore it. Throws 6 touchdown catches. He said, trust me, I'll be wearing the sleeve from now on.
Yeah, when you throw 6 touchdown catches, you don't change anything. You go out there and you make sure everything that was in place for this week's game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now. In the play. Cohen pushed out of bounds at the 11. Let's get a quick game break in here. Here's Krista Thompson.
Thanks, Brian. So the Falcons up 14-6 against the Bucs, and Matt Ryan finds Austin Hooper for this 9-yard touchdown. Ryan's 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Falcons up 21-6. Brian?
All right, thanks, C. 7-0 score here in the 2nd quarter. 5 minutes left until the half. Bears will be looking at 3rd and 1. They've converted 57% of the 3rd down opportunities they've been presented with. This is Howard. Left side, 1st down. Raekwon McMillan makes the stop.
This is what Jordan Howard provides for you. He is the guy that is going to get the hard yards, the hard-earned yards, the short yardage, the yardage that you pay him to get and that he has earned. This is why he wants the ball more, to shorten and to make sure that they are staying ahead of the down and distance and staying ahead of the chains.
5 carries, 16 yards. Blitz coming. Howard, the carry. And he's brought down at the 2.
No, Brian, when you look at this Bears offense down in the goal to go or the red zone, they don't run the typical conventional goal line offense. They come out, they'll spread it out, they'll make sure that they have enough room, just as if they were in the middle of the football field. Come out, as you see even right now, with 3 receivers, 1 guy in the backfield. Very unconventional.
Trips right. Howard powers his way. It looks like he lost the football at the goal line. It's loose. They say Dolphins football, and we've got a flag. Walt Anderson and his team talking it out. Let's find out about the flag.
Ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense. Illegal formation. Number 70 of the offense was lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
Chico Alonso comes up with the fumble. There's that hit from T.J. McDonald.
As a player, you see a guy come off the sideline and he has a fumble like that. Sometimes you just want to let him go, but then you want to, come on, man, put 2 hands on the ball. The football is everything. The football it's everything for us as an offense, and if we don't have it, we can't be effective. Jordan Howard, you can't put the ball on the ground in that situation.
What a stop for this Dolphins defense. So now 1st and 10 from their own 1. I formation.
Here we go. Omaha set.
Changes the play as Osweiler. O'Leary leaps a man for the 1st down. Oh, Nick O'Leary already having himself a half. Came into the game with no catches, already has 3 in the touchdown.
Easy, simple play again. O'Leary just leaks from out of the backfield, running a drag route out of the backfield. You know they're not going to try too much with the pressure that the Bears front is able to get. Hit your tight end out of the backfield in the flat, let them do the rest.
Wilson in motion. And to give to Gore, right side. And what a job that Brock Osweiler has done to this point. 8 of 11 for 86 yards, a touchdown. And people have to remember now, Adam Gase said, listen, I helped draft this guy when we were in Denver. He knows this offense as well as I do. So that's why he said he had so much confidence if Osweiler was going to get the start.
No doubt about it. Watching him in practice yesterday take all the snaps, he looked comfortable and confident. And then talking with Adam Gase, as you just mentioned, Brian, he was, if not more confident than what Brock was.
That one over the middle. Grant. And that should take us here to the 2-minute warning. The Dolphins have all 3 of their timeouts. And they'll be looking at a 3rd and 2. When we come back,
This is a 2-minute warning.
Dolphins 7-point lead here in Miami. Jordan Howard and the Bears fumbled one away about a minute ago. He was looking to go in from the 2-yard line, and now the Dolphins are looking at 3rd and 1. Miami at 8 for 28 now on 3rd down in their last 3 games. This is Drake across the 30. It's a 1st down. That will stop the clock momentarily, and then they'll keep it going. They've got 3 timeouts. Pickup of 12.
We see Drake enter the game and get the ball. One of the things that Adam Gase mentioned about Drake is he's not a rhythm guy. You can put him in at any moment, and he can strike big.
Well, there's a lot of people wondering why he's not starting, because he's so fast, so explosive, but he said he's probably the best 6-man you can have, because he's been a 6-man his entire career, even in college. When he was at Alabama, he played behind all those great backs, so he came off the bench. He said, that's why I'm keeping him in that role. That's what he's accustomed to. This is 2nd down now.
You hear the crowd response and reaction, the boos right now, because that last play, they were hoping to get a pass interference called on Adrian Amos. It was close.
Miller.
Osweiler, Amendola. He's brought down by Bryce Callahan.
That's a great play by Bryce Callahan right there. He gets knocked down to the ground, still finds a way to put himself in position to grasp any part of Danny Amendola and bring him down.
Minute now until the half. Dolphins have 3 timeouts. It's 3rd and 4. Osweiler. Drake again. He runs out of bounds at the 43. That's enough for a 1st down as they move the sticks at 47 now.
And we talk about Drake, but then we look at Frank Gore, and why he is starting is because, again, talking to Adam Gase, he understands his personnel. He says, Frank, he's a guy that needs touches. He needs to build up and see things happen, and then you'll see the longer runs and the 5- and 6-yard pops here and there.
Here's Osweiler. He throws that one away.
This is where you start to miss a Ryan Tannehill. Anytime you have movement with your quarterback, plays that you know you want to get him outside the pocket and then make throws, that's where Ryan Tannehill provides that elusiveness, that ability to extend the play, move with the ball in his hand, and then still make plays down the field with the ball thrown in.
Osweiler. Had to get rid of that one. Nick Kwiatkowski is pressuring him. So 3rd and 10. Keep in mind the Bears won the toss in this game. They defer, so they will receive the ball in the 2nd half here.
All right, so you got 37 seconds left. You obviously want to be smart with the football right here. Would love to get a 1st down, see if you can get into field goal range, and go into the locker room with a field goal.
Yeah, Osweiler's going to take a quick timeout. Gives us an opportunity to check into Los Angeles and see what Kurt and the guys have on tap for the half.
Coming up on the jolly old Visa halftime, we'll talk about the game in England, plus the Chargers try to say cheerio to the Browns, and the Colts and Jets play a good old-fashioned American football game. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime.
Oh, chip, cheerio.
Southern English hillbilly. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know what TV's got going on.
I love TV. You never know what you're going to get when you're in studio with Terry. Those guys have a ton of fun. Fun to be around as well.
They might want to check what was in that cup, because I don't think it was tea with TV, to be honest with you. There's Mitch Trubisky. It is a hot, humid one here in Miami. So far, 2 for 2 on these third downs here on this drive. They're looking at 3rd and 10. Osweiler over the middle. That's a dart, and it's complete. Amendola. See if they get up to the line, and they're going to get the timeout here. And we'll be right back after this message from Progressive. So here's 1st and 10 now for Miami. 30 seconds until the half. Trying to put some more points on the board.
Green 7 hot. Hey, Miller. You're good.
That's Drake alongside Osweiler. And he's going down the sideline. Intercepted. Carl Fuller makes the pick for the Bears. That is their 9th interception of the season.
You see, he was trying to hit Devontae Parker up top. And Kyle Fuller just does a great job of staying underneath and in the hip pocket of Devontae Parker. You look at this, and Devontae Parker can't allow himself to get run to the sideline. You are taught as a receiver to leave the box being 5 yards from the sideline to in the field of play, and he did not do that.
The ruling on the field is an interception, and the defensive player's momentum carried him into the end zone. By rule, the ball belongs to Chicago at the intercepting spot, which will be the 4-yard line, 1st down.
So 2 mistakes by both teams in crucial positions. Jordan Howard fumbles it away at the 2-yard line, going in for a score. And then Brock Osweiler and the Dolphins offense throw the interception here. Less than 30 seconds left in the half, and you're in Chicago territory.
Yeah, and if you're Chicago, you know you pretty much just got away with one. You take it, you go into the locker room, you regroup, and hopefully your young quarterback and your offense can start to put some points on the board.
7-0 is the score here in Miami. The play of the first half is presented by DirecTV. More for your thing, that's our thing. And it was that body slam by Floyd which led to this. The touchdown catch by Nick O'Leary. That's the only score that we've had here in Miami here at the half. Let's go to Los Angeles and Kurt. That was today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. 7-0 the score here in Miami Gardens. Brian Custer alongside Greg Jennings. And, you know, you look at it, this was really a Chicago Bears team that rolled up 48 points against Tampa in their last time out. No points in the first half. Meanwhile, they got the Dolphins. No Ryan Tannehill. Brock Osweiler gets to start playing okay. They got a 7-0 lead.
Well, when I look at the Bears offense, I'm not really that surprised, because talking to Matt Burke, He wanted to show pre-snap something for Mitchell Trubisky to look at and then switch it up upon the snap. And then when I flip it and I look at the Bears defensively, I can't say I'm not surprised, but because of the amount of opportunities that they have had and they haven't capitalized on. But Adam Gase made it a point. We will not see Khalil Mack matched up one-on-one with either one of these tackles.
He said he's going to chip him in every way possible. They've certainly done that. They're trying to end his strip sack streak that he's got going on. Bears, of course, won the toss. They deferred, so they will receive the ball here in the begin the second half. Vinny Cunningham back deep for the Bears. They'll start at their own 25 down to the field. Here's Doug.
Guys, in watching the first half, the Bears seem to lack a little bit of energy on the sideline. I talked with Matt Nagy when he was running off the field, and he said, yeah, we got to get some of the juices going. We got to finish drives, a lot like when Jordan Howard fumbled at the goal line. As for Khalil Mack, they knew the Dolphins were going to be smart. The Dolphins have gotten rid of it quick and run the ball a ton on first down.
All right, Doug, thank you. The Bears will start with trips there at the bottom of your screen. Jordan Howard gets the carry. Howard. Oh no, Trubisky keeps it. Good fake. And Mitch Trubisky is loose. Across midfield. Great fake by Trubisky in the pickup for Chicago of 28 yards.
That's just a great keep. On this play, Mitchell Trubisky, you read the end. If the end collapse, you keep it as a quarterback every single time. And one thing about Trubisky, if he gets rolling, he can pick him up and put him down, and he can gain some yards with his legs.
He's looking plenty of time down the sideline. And it's incomplete. He's throwing it to Allen Robinson. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick, the rookie, with the coverage, and he'll draw the penalty.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. First down at the spot of the foul.
Fitzpatrick, the rookie out of Alabama, you know, is safety, but they call him the Swiss Army knife because he usually plays the corner and the slot and everything.
He can do it all, but on that play, he did not do it very well because as a corner, you're taught at least to turn your head around, get your head back to the football so it appears to the referee that you're trying to make a play on the ball. If you don't turn your head around, they're going to call that every time.
So now Chicago, first down and 10 from the 25. 32-yard penalty. Here's Trubisky. Rolls right, comes back left, and to Cohen. And he's brought down by Raekwon McMillan.
You know, you typically teach a quarterback to never throw it across his body, especially when it's across the field like that. But when you have a human joystick in Tariq Cohen and you're Mitchell Trubisky, you think in your mind, if I could just get him the ball in space, anything can happen. But what a great play by McMillan to see it happening and to run it down and to eliminate a potential big play.
Shovel pass. Trey Burton dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
That was the same exact play that they ran earlier in the game on the 3rd and short, going into the same end zone. The Chicago Bears talked about it. The Dolphins thought that they would be ready for it. They run a lot of the same plays in different formations, using different personnel groupings. They just got them there running the same play, different personnel grouping. Touchdown Bears. Great call by Nagy.
Here comes Cody Parker for the extra point. Parking. Kicks it through, so Chicago, 3 plays, 75 yards. They do it in 1:37. Trey Burton gets the score. We're all tied up here at Miami Garden. All tied up at 7. Thanks to that touchdown catch by Trey Burton. Mitchell Trubisky, 28-yard run he had. That was the longest of the season for a Bear. They go 3 plays, 75 yards. Do it in a minute 37. Cody Parkey will kick things away. Jakeem Grant. Let's go back to that touchdown.
Yeah, when you look at this touchdown, you're going to see, number one, they're using different personnel. The reason I circle your guard there and Anthony Miller, Cohen was in the first time, but you see your guard right here. It's almost like a lead shovel pass. This is what makes this play work. It's more than just what you present on the surface level of it. It's really a run play that you turn into a shovel pass, and you're pulling with your left guard to lead block for your tight end. Easy pickings, great play call, formation variation. That's why you hire a Matt Nagy.
Apple, 39 Sam.
Osweiler changing the play.
Omaha.
Gives it to Gore. Gore breaking tackles. Close to a first down. Danny Trevathan making the stop. Pickup of 9 by Frank Gore.
Yeah, Gore gets up there a little shaking his head. Took a shot to the head, but this is what makes him so special. He keeps his feet driving all the time. Anytime he has the ball in his hand, you will never see Frank Gore's feet stop moving.
Here's Drake. Bounces off 2 men, gets a first down and out of bounds. Bryce Callahan forces him out. Now, we've talked a lot about this Bear defense. How about the turnovers, the sacks? We haven't seen any of that there. I mean, you've talked about they were going to chip Khalil Mack any way possible, but credit to the Miami's offensive line, especially with 2 guys out, 2 starters out.
Yeah, they've done a great job of eliminating Khalil Mack thus far. I put a big emphasis on thus far, because we still got a lot of game left that he can potentially impact. But they got their turnover late in the first half to prevent potential score from the Dolphins. But other than that, they have not looked like the Bears defense that has dominated every single game. They haven't given up a lot of points, so they're still ahead of the game when it comes to that. I just don't see the energy when I look out on the football field. They're walking around. You have to start to think, is the heat becoming a factor?
Well set. That drop by Amendola. Brick gets to carry. And he leans forward for a couple. That goes to what Adam Gase was telling us. He said, I'm just hoping that this game is close. He said, especially in the second half. And if we're up or maybe down just a couple in the fourth quarter, he thinks that's his advantage because of the heat. Here's an interception. Kyle Fuller down the sideline. And knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. And the Bears defense, we talk about them, and they come up with another interception. They've now got 10 on the season.
This was too easy. This was simply too easy. You're going to see Brock Osweiler drop back. His head goes to the right away. And Kyle Fuller, he sees it the entire time. He's able to drive, T-plant, and drive on the ball quicker than your receiver. You cannot do that. If you know where you're going before pre-snap, you have to look off and then snap your head over and drive that ball in there and make a throw. Another point to be made, Adam Gase told us in the production meeting, I got to tell my receivers they may have to shorten up their routes, quicken things up, because Brock Osweiler's arm is not as strong as Ryan Tannehill's.
We saw it there. Another turnover. So now here's Trubisky. Touchdown! They capitalize. Allen Robinson. His second of the season.
Got on one side of the ball, a quarterback throwing a pick six, or not a pick six, but an interception. and momentum kind of fading away. The other side, Trubisky, momentum starting to pick up. Offensively, he's getting into a rhythm, which I talked about earlier. He's starting to hit his guys. Result, a lot of energy, come out the gate. Second half, put points on the board. Two straight possessions. Looks good, looks real good for the Chicago Bears right now.
Here comes Parkey. The extra point is good. And just like that, the Bears have put up 2 touchdowns here at the beginning of the second half. Trubisky threw 6 touchdown passes last time out. He's got 2 here today. 14-7 to score. Well, thanks to that interception, it set up that touchdown catch by Allen Robinson. Kyle Fuller with the pick. Bears now have 10 interceptions on the season, tied for the most here in the league with, by the way, the Dolphins. Back deep. Keem Grant. Well, we have a big-time Big Ten rivalry Saturday on Fox. 12th ranked Michigan takes on their heated in-state enemy, Michigan State. It all kicks off Saturday, 11:30 Eastern on Fox, or you can watch it anywhere on the Fox Sports app. Crowd has certainly got into it here. And I'd say there are a number of Bear fans here. You see all these orange jerseys and shirts around here. A number of them are Bear.
I was getting ready to say, this is what happens when you come down to Miami Gardens, to Hard Rock Stadium. Everyone wants to come down to the heat. Your fans travel well, and it can turn into a home game for the away team really quick.
Kenyon Drake gets the carry. Stiff arm. Bounces it to the outside. Roquan Smith with the stop. Let's go down to the field and Doug.
Guys, Jonathan Woodard will not return due to a head injury. Frank Gore did go into the tent after taking a shot, but he's got his helmet back on. He nodded at me that he's fine, and we'll probably see him during this possession.
Yeah, that last carry he did take. It looked like he got a shoulder to the head. They took him into the tent briefly.
He got up shaking his head a little bit, trying to shake whatever he experienced off.
Osweiler under pressure. That's complete. O'Leary across midfield and brought down by Adrian Amos Jr.
O'Leary and Amendola have been Brock Osweiler's go-to guys today, and you see it not changing on this play here. He sees nothing when he looks left. He ends up seeing his tight end late, gets out, releases late in the progression, hits him in the flat, first down.
19-yard pickup. Drake spins, powers his way to a first down. Bryce Callahan brings him down.
This is what excites you about a Kenyon Drake. Everything that he does, it's exciting. It's flashy, it's quick, it's smooth, it's elusive. And so when he gets the ball, you're on the edge of your seat waiting to see what he's going to do and what he's going to provide to you as an offense and even as a spectator, as a fan.
Here's Osweiler. In the flat, Amendola. That's a pickup of about 5.
You know, I start to wonder as I watch that play progress. Albert Wilson was flanked out left, and he ran an in cut. But if you remember back on the first possession, he dropped the in cut that he had coming off the right side. Brock never even looked down the field. He's going to who he knows he can trust. That's O'Leary, and that's Amendola.
Frank Gore checked back in. He's behind Osweiler. Under pressure, he'll throw it away. Danny Trevathan applying the pressure to Osweiler.
Danny Trevathan, one of those guys that Adam Gase mentioned because of his time spent in Denver, wondering if he would be able to identify some of these play calls early and often, as we see him put pressure on Brock Osweiler on that last play.
Miller. Hey, Danny, take both of them. Take both of them.
Khalil Mack lined up, standing up at the top of your screen. This is Gore up the middle. Keem Hicks makes the stop. Third and 6 now for the Dolphins. They've converted 50% of them so far today. 4 of 8 here on third down.
It's a huge third down to swinging the momentum back into your favor if you're the Miami Dolphins.
Under pressure, hit as he threw it. Bryce Callahan came flying in to deliver the hit.
Bryce Callahan came in there in an airplane type mode, trying to strip the ball, get him down as quickly or affect him as much as possible. I think this is the Khalil Mack effect. I know we talk about Khalil Mack a lot, but his ability to get to the quarterback in the way he does it when he does get home and stripping the quarterback, it starts to trickle into everybody on your defense, and you want to create turnovers when you get home.
Here's Sanders. This is from 50 yards out. It'd be a career long for him. And he got it. His previous long was 42. He nails it. 14-10 our score here in the third. Got a nice battle of division leaders here. 14-10 our score in the third quarter. Career long field goal by Jason Sanders here in Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens. Sanders to kick things away. Benny Cunningham back deep for the Bears from his own end zone. The Bears start from their own 25. Listen, this is a good game, but how about 1985 when these guys met? Remember this? The Orange Bowl, Monday Night Football, Week 13. Dolphins are playing for a playoff spot, trying to keep up with the Pats and the Jets, and Dan Marino threw for 270 yards, a couple of touchdowns, 1 pick. Miami beat the Bears 38-24, ended their going for a perfect season. There's Dan Marino. Of course, works for the organization here now, sitting next to the great Peyton Manning.
2 Hall of Famers right there. It's a special moment.
You know, 2 days after that game, they shot the Super Bowl shuffle video.
Yes.
Willie Gault was scared. The guys wasn't going to show. Trubisky up top. Going for Robinson. He's got it. In stride. Taylor Gabriel. Right at the 20-yard line. Torrey McIntyre.
I absolutely love what Matt Nagy is doing with Mitchell Trubisky and Taylor Gabriel. A lot is to be said about it, because when you look at Taylor Gabriel, when he was in Atlanta, they used him in the slot primarily. So he never really had a ton of opportunities to be out wide, outside the numbers, and run these routes and be the primary guy. He is getting a lot of opportunities, and he is taking advantage of them. Great job right there.
54-yard pickup, Trubisky. Looking, you've got a Bear receiver who fell down. We got a flag on the play, and I think it might have been Gabriel's who fell down running that route. Let's see if a defensive player hit him and pushed him down.
There is no foul for illegal contact. The quarterback had rolled out of the pocket. Second down.
So no flag. And it'll be second down now for the Bears. Let's get a quick game break in from Krista Thompson.
Thanks, Brian. So Vikings opening drive of the second half. Kirk Cousins finds a familiar target, Adam Thielen, for this 13-yard touchdown. Thielen over 100 yards for the 6th consecutive game. Vikings lead 20-10. Brian?
All right, CT, thank you. Thielen is a ball player.
Yeah, Adam Thielen, man, he came into the league, and you could tell with his work ethic, you knew he was going to get a chance if his number got called.
This is Cohen. Open field. Look out. Touchdown. Tariq Cohen. Second-year pro out of North Carolina A&T. Second touchdown of the season for him.
Again, one of those game records that Matt Burke was alluding to. You see him right here on the play. He's just going to get the handoff, and I could run through that hole right there, Brian. I mean, we could take turns. You could run through that. You cannot give a player like Tariq Cohen, with the agility that he possesses and the elusiveness that he has, that type of running room.
Every time the Bears offense have had it here in the second half, they've come up with a touchdown. And they've got a 21-10 lead here in the third quarter. Tariq Cohen with the touchdown is all set up, though, by Taylor Gabriel. That 54-yard catch he had. And Chicago gets right back on the board in 3 plays, 75 yards. They do it in 1 minute.
He just has fun out there. You can tell he's a big ball, fireball of fun.
And I love it that he said, listen, I come from an HBCU. I feel like I've had to prove myself. And he is a game breaker. Let's go down to the field now, and Doug, for more on Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, guys, you were talking about Tariq Cohen, and the Bears front office credits Sam Somerville. Matter of fact, there's an article 2 days ago in the Chicago Tribune crediting the area scout who was asked, the brain trust, Josh Lucas, Champ Kelly, and of course the general manager Ryan Pace. They were watching Notre Dame play, and on the drive back he said, my favorite player in the area is Tariq Cohen. And this is above SEC and ACC level players. In the spring they end up drafting him, and he's been better than they ever could have wanted.
He sure has been. He's been all of that and some. Here's 1st and 10 now. Brock Osweiler back to pass, pumps it, and too high, and we've got a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 94, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's another one on Leonard Floyd. You might remember in the first half where he body slammed Danny Amendola.
Yeah, you see him right here on the edge. I don't know what he ended up doing. We'll find out real soon.
Oh, that hand right there to the head. You know you can't go to the head of the quarterback.
I don't know about that one right there, Brian.
You can't touch that quarterback above the neck.
I don't know if he even made contact with the head. I got to see it a little slower.
3 penalties now on the Bears. So now 1st and 10 from the 40. There's Osweiler again over the middle. That one's complete to Amendola. Adrian Amos Jr. makes the stop. 13-yard pickup, and now looks like Miami will play with a little more tempo.
Well, I mean, they have to. When you look at what the Bears are doing offensively when they get the ball in their hands, they're putting the ball in the end zone. And Brock is settling for O'Leary and Amendola across the middle and on the sideline on the drag routes. You have to start taking chances. You have to make sure you take advantage when you have the ball in your possession.
Frank Gore powering his way for about 8. So now 2nd and 2 for the Dolphins. This is Drake. And that's a first down. Aaron Lynch makes the stop. So 1st and 10 now.
Miller. Green 7.
Dolphins will go 5 wide. Drake's
Mike 59.
flanked out at the bottom of your screen. Play clock is at 1. Osweiler. Amendola. Pushed out of bounds at the 29.
When you watch Brock Osweiler, you see that he has command of the huddle. He understands the offense inside and out. But what alarms me, what stands out to me, is he doesn't push the ball down the field. And in order to be effective, you have to, at some point, be able to consistently push the ball down the field to put the defense on their heels.
Kenyon Drake about a yard shy of a 1st down. Roquan Smith making the start for the Bears. You're talking about pushing it downfield. One of the guys who makes downfield catches, big plays for the Dolphins is Kenny Stills. And their leading receivers, no catches so far.
A non-factor today.
Here's 3rd and 1. He's only been targeted once.
Mike's right.
Stills at the top of your screen. Osweiler keeps it for the 1st down. Let's get another game break from Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Brian. So the Vikings up 20-10 in the 3rd when Kirk Cousins fakes the handoff and takes it in himself for the 7-yard score. The touchdown's great, but the celebration's even better. And it's being reported that he learned these dance moves from, wait for it, Doug Gottlieb. Vikings up 27-10.
Wow.
I love it, Carissa. Shots fired.
Frank Gore bounces off a tackle, leaps in the air for a 1st down. Oh, the old man still got it.
You say, what old man? I'm having a moment of fountain of youth right here. He looks as fresh as ever, and I mentioned it earlier. His feet never stop moving. He's always churning his lower body. That's what makes Frank Gore so special. That's why he's been so effective over the course of his remarkable career.
Keep in mind, Bears have not allowed a rushing touchdown so far this season. Only team in the NFL. No time on the play clock. That draws a flag.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
These are drive killers, Brian. When you get into the red zone, anywhere on the field, you cannot afford to go backwards, specifically when it's something that you can be ahead of. The play clock, you know the timing when you break the huddle. You're basically muddle huddling, so there's really no excuse to not be able to get a snap off.
5 penalties, 51 yards. The Dolphins. 1st and 15. Osweiler looking to Drake. He's out of bounds.
If I'm the Chicago Bears, I self-scout, but I also know what my opponent is doing. I go in at the half. He's not willing to throw the ball down the field, so we'll give him everything underneath. We'll bend, we won't break. You end up with a field goal, it's not the end of the world. Our offense has it rolling. We'll keep putting points on the board, make you catch up from behind.
Minute 20 left here in the quarter. Crossing route. Gesicki leaps a man. Knocked out of bounds inside the 10. That's the rookie out of Penn State.
Is it me or does everyone hurdle now? Everyone hurdles.
First catch for Gesicki. He's a second-round pick by the Dolphins. It is 3rd and 4. From the 7, Osweiler rolls, looks, and throws it away. Roquan Smith was applying the pressure. And here comes the field goal unit. And it kind of goes back to what you just talked about. That from that defense, we can give you everything underneath. We may bend. We're not going to break. We'll let you keep kicking field goals because so far in this half, we're scoring touchdowns every time we get it.
That's absolutely right. You'll trade field goals when you're getting touchdown every single game, every single time.
Here's Sanders, 25 yards out. He drills it. 21-13. We'll be right back after this message from Verizon. Take a look at the Bears offense. They're about to get it again. Look at what they did in the first half here compared to the second half. Nearly 200 total yards, 21 points. I mean, really a tale of two halves here thus far.
Yeah, Matt Nagy talks about learning his guys and learning the flow of the game. You have to be able to evolve as the game evolves and take what the game is presenting to you. He saw what they weren't able to do in the first half, comes out second half, and they got it going. The timing was better. They were ahead of the down, ahead of the sticks. Trubisky looks great. Offense has it clicking, and now the defense is stopping the Dolphins from getting in the end zone.
Dolphins, 11 plays, 68 yards. They did it in 6 minutes and 24 seconds, so a lot of time off that clock to get a field goal. Just 25 seconds here left in the third. Here comes Trubisky. Fourth time they've had the football here in the second half. They've scored touchdowns all 3 previous possessions. In fact, 7 plays, total of 162 yards, 21 points is what they've done so far in the second half. After putting up a goose egg in the first half.
For all that the Bears have done, they're only up 8. And you would think that this would be one of those drives where the Dolphins on defense say, look, we got to get a stop, possibly create a turnover to swing the momentum back into our favor.
Trubisky keeps it. Looks like that will be the last play here, the third quarter. We will go into the fourth quarter, as you talked about, with an 8-point lead. And this is what Adam Gase said he wanted. He wanted to be a score away.
The end of the third quarter.
And he's got it. 21-13. That's our score. Brock Osweiler talking things over on the sidelines. We take a look at the score here by quarter. Chicago had goose eggs in the first half, 21 the third quarter alone as we begin the fourth and final quarter. Trubisky still hot, and Cohen is loose. Look out, Trey Cohen, 30. Brought down at the 20-yard line by Rashad Jones.
This is just simply beautiful.
50 yards.
Out of the backfield. He literally, out of the backfield, he runs what we call like a Houston route, like a short post out of the backfield, and he's on, I believe it was Jerome Baker covering him.
Jerome Baker.
Which is why the Dolphins even drafted him, so he can cover guys like this out of the backfield. He's a good cover guy. But when you get Tariq Cohen in open space, that's a hard ask.
Yeah, he exposed the rookie at Ohio State. Flag down. Trubisky keeps it. Slides down. Let's find out from Walt Anderson the call.
illegal formation offense. Right tackle, number 70, was uncovered on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on Bobby Massey.
Yeah, when you look at this play again, you got Tariq Cohen right here. He's going to run a little short post is what we call it. But when he gets out at the top of the route, he just sets Jerome up and gives him something at the top of the route. There is no way, if you're a linebacker in this league, you can cover a guy like Tariq Cohen in space like that.
1st and 15. This is Jordan Howard. Yvonne Gottschall makes the stop for the Dolphins.
You know, the last play was a legal formation. Anytime you typically have a legal formation and a tackle is uncovered, it's not really the tackle's fault. It's your receiver out wide. He was not on the line of scrimmage, and I hate to point fingers, but Kevin White was in on that play, on that side. Looks like he didn't cover him up.
Trubisky going up top. Allen Robinson. It's caught. He's brought down at the 3. That was their big free agent pickup in the offseason, Allen Robinson.
This is just a great back shoulder throw, great catch, great execution.
So now 1st and goal. From the 3.
It looks like, is Gase challenging that? Yep, the red flag is out there.
See Allen Robinson say, I caught it.
Nagy is upset because he wanted to have.
Miami is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Matt Nagy is upset.
Correction,
there.
they're challenging the ruling of a completed pass.
We'll sort it out. We'll be back. 21-13 is our score. Miami challenged the catch, but it was confirmed it was indeed a catch here by Allen Robinson. Had control, even though the ball can touch the ground, as long as you have control. It's 1st and goal here for the Bears. Dolphins will lose the timeout. Trubisky rolls, throws, touchdown. Tariq Cohen, and we've got another flag.
We're going to see what this is, but that's too easy.
Pass interference, number 80, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 1st and goal.
That's on Trey Burton, who scored the first touchdown for the Bears. Offensive pass interference on him.
They call him for the pick. Let's see where Trey Burton is on this play. I believe he's here. No, he comes out of the backfield. I'm sorry, he's here. And he runs up in front of Kiko Alonso, not allowing him to have a free path to Tariq Cohen. That's touchy. That's touchy. That play happens every single possession at the goal line when you're in red zone.
Now 1st and goal from the 13. Trubisky over the middle in traffic. Intercepted. T.J. McDonald comes up with the stop for the Dolphins.
Huge. Mitchell Trubisky gets caught trying to force something in there. You did not have to do that. You did not have to do that. You're forcing something in there that, if all else, you settle for the field goal. Your defense has been doing a great job of bending but not breaking. Now you put your defense in a situation where you're asking them to get another stop to flip the field position battle.
11th interception of the season for the Dolphins. They lead the NFL. That's the second on the season for McDonald. Big play for the Dolphins defense. And here's Osweiler. That one to Jakeem Grant. He drops it.
I'm not sure when the last time I've seen Brock throw the ball to anyone other than Danny Amendola or Nick O'Leary.
He threw that one to Grant. That should have been a catch. Here's 2nd and 10. Grant again. Receiver screen. Bryce Callahan makes the stop. Pickup of 5. 3rd and 5 coming for the Dolphins. 5 of 11 on 3rd down so far today.
This is a big 3rd down for the Miami Dolphins offense. You have to convert this 3rd down. A little over 11 minutes to go in this ball game. You want to make a statement drive, it should be here.
Khalil Mack at the bottom of your screen. Hit as he throws, but complete. Albert Wilson breaks a tackle, cross midfield. And brought down at the 46-yard line by Eddie Jackson. A 28-yard pickup for the Fins.
You want to know why I've been so upset at Brock? Because when you get the ball to your playmakers, things like this happen. You just have to get the ball downfield. Now, mind you, he drops one in the first quarter on the first possession. Big 3rd down drop. But this is why you push the ball down the field, to make plays happen. Get the ball in your playmakers' hands. Special things can happen.
At the 47 of Chicago. This is Grant. And that play goes nowhere. Thanks to Eddie Jackson.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that, because what I see Adam Gase trying to do is, now we're going to get the ball in the hands of our guys who can make plays too. We're going to get the ball in our game wreckers' hands as well, and put pressure on your secondary to make tackles in open space and stop us with the ball in our best playmakers' hands.
That's why they're now over 200 yards passing. Here's Drake. Swallowed up. There'll be another 3rd down for the Dolphins.
Saw Khalil Mack just trot back onto the field.
Mack at the top of your screen. 7 different Dolphins have had a catch today. This is 3rd and 6. Another receiver screen. Wilson breaks 3 again. Wilson to the house. Touchdown, Miami.
As I said, when you get the ball to your skill guys, this is why you have them on the football field. The ability of big plays to be made drastically increases when you get the ball into guys like this. He does a great job breaking a tackle. We saw it. They tried to go to the jailbreak screen or the smoke screen with Jakeem Grant a couple plays before. Didn't work out. They go right back to him. Different personnel package. Big play.
Wilson, 2 catches, 71 yards on that drive. The Dolphins are going to go for 2 and the tie. Osweiler rolls right. Receiver falls, throws back to the end zone. Caught. Kenny Stills. We're tied up. Here in the fourth quarter, his first catch of the game.
It looked as though they wanted to get Danny Amendola coming back underneath, but he falls down. Kenny Stills stays with it. Running across the back of the end zone, Brock Osweiler hits him. Two-point conversion is good.
Kenny Stills with the two-point conversion catch. Dolphins, 6 plays, 80 yards. They do it in 3 minutes. All of it set up by a T.J. McDonald interception in the end zone of Mitch Trubisky. And we are all tied up here in the fourth quarter. Let's take another look here. And they had to look to see if those 2 feet got down there, G.
Yeah, when you look at this play, you want to hit Danny Amendola coming under on the slide. But what a great job by Kenny Stills. He's had 1 target all day. He's on the backside of this play, and he hauls it to the back pylon to get in the face.
And look at Ryan Tannehill cheering on his teammates. Tannehill couldn't go today. Throwing shoulder injured. They worked him out this morning. He just couldn't go. So Brock Osweiler got the start. And we're tied up here in the fourth quarter. Here's Trubisky. It is loud. He's under pressure, throws complete. That's Trey Burton. He's about 2 yards shy of a first down.
This is where you see the maturity of your young quarterback come to fruition. In moments like this, a big scoring drive for your opponent, can you come back and answer the call and put the ball in the end zone, put points on the board for your team?
You see Trubisky having another good day, especially through the air. He gives to Howard. Maybe a couple. Raekwon McMillan with the stop. What an important game for both of these squads. There are a number of people want to know if the Bears are for real. They're on a 3-game winning streak. And obviously with the Dolphins, they started the season 3-0. They've dropped their last 2, but there's questions on whether or not they're the team that started off 3-0 or the team that dropped 2 straight. Here's 3rd and 2. Tariq Cohen split out at the top. That one was over the middle. Incomplete, but there's a flag. And it's intended for Allen Robinson. It looks like they're going to get the rookie, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's Minkah again. I got to look at this. I don't know if he gets there a little early.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. Automatic first down, spot of the foul.
Sometimes on these plays, you'll see Minkah Fitzpatrick here. You tend to get that hand wrapped around the receiver, and he does. That hand gets wrapped around the receiver, and you try to knock the ball down with your offhand. You typically pull the receiver through. It happens all the time in the National Football League. Great call by the referees there.
So 1st and 10. Fake to Cohen. Plenty of time for Trubisky. Down the sideline. Incomplete. Anthony Miller tried to go up and get it. He was working on the rookie again, Fitzpatrick.
That's a great job by Minkah. You get a penalty on the play before, you come back, they attack you again, and you find a way to knock the ball away from another young man that can make plays just like you, another rookie, Anthony Miller, who he did this all in college. Go up and get it. I still would like to see him get his head turned around.
2nd and 10. Cohen, left side. Let's get a quick game break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, Tampa scored to come within 2 of Atlanta. Falcons answered right back. Matt Ryan's 3rd touchdown pass of the game to Tevin Coleman, and it's 31-22. Atlanta separating, and it's getting late. Brian, Greg, Doug, and new producer Rich Gross.
Yes, he is. Doing a great job for us, and we're tied up here in the 4th quarter. 7 minutes now left in this one. 3rd and 3. The screen. Cohen. Cross midfield, 1st down.
What a play. What a play. This is why you love having so many guys that provide you with so many options to go to as a young quarterback and as a play caller. But you're going to see Tariq Cohen right here. He's just going to slip out the backfield, and there's no way that anybody can come with him because you set up the pick play for him. You make sure that he has a free release and an easy throw for your quarterback on 3rd and short. Great play call, great design.
11-yard pickup. They are really working Tariq Cohen. Here's Trubisky. Again, plenty of time. Steps up. He's going to keep it. He slides down at the 40. Under 6 minutes now left in this one.
I got to say, I'm an offensive guy, so I'm biased, but it's been a thrill watching some of these plays develop. Even this last play that we just saw that Trubisky ends up tucking it and running. Just the play calls and watching them develop, they have a lot of character to them, and you can make things happen with these plays.
Here's Howard, left side. He's close to a 1st down. Robert Quinn and the host of Dolphins stop him. It will be 3rd and 1. Jordan Howard, left side. That's the 1st down. They'll move the sticks.
You know, at home when you're watching games, you watch offenses put players in motion, specifically when you have a young quarterback. And the reason why you do that is so that he can identify right away, is this man coverage or is this zone? If you have a defender running with the motion, you automatically can identify this is zone coverage. So as a quarterback, a young quarterback at that, you have eliminated half of what you know you have to read if you don't know what the coverages are.
Benny Cunningham has checked in. He gets the call as he picks up a couple. He's brought down at the 29. You know, you talked about this young quarterback, seeing how he responds as we are now under 4 minutes left in this one. This now drive is 9 plays. We've gone over 4 minutes now. And they've racked up about 46 yards here in this drive. Trubisky, they try to take the lead.
As impressed as I am with Trubisky in managing this game, it's what Matt Nagy has done as a play caller has been nothing short of spectacular this afternoon.
Here comes pressure. Trubisky rolls, throws, almost intercepted. That was dangerous. Rashad Jones nearly came up with the pick.
Another great play call, but an even better play being made by the engine, the man in the back, Rashad Jones, seeing this the entire time, trying to go to Tariq Cohen, gets airborne, and almost comes up with a great play.
Good job by the rookie Jerome Baker. Step-by-step there with Cohen. So now 3rd and 9. The Bears 7 for 10 on 3rd down. They've converted 70% of them. We got 3 minutes here, and they're going to call a timeout and talk about it. Don't you go anywhere. We got a good one here. It's all tied up at 21. Listen, you can help people affected by Hurricane Michael. You donate today by going to the redcross.org, or you can text Michael to 90999 to give $10 to the American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. Big play here. 3rd and 9. Jordan Howard's in the backfield. Trubisky over the middle, wide open.
And he hits
Anthony
the rookie.
Miller, the rookie, with the big catch. Touchdown, Chicago.
You know, this Chicago offense, they really do have a playmaker everywhere on the football field. You look at the football field, and you may not know who some of these guys are, but you best be sure by the end of the day, you will know who they are.
29 yards, and that's got to be a blown coverage.
He's streaking down the middle of the field. You, as a defense, as a defensive coordinator, you have got to be just irate right now. You cannot, on a 3rd and 9, if nothing else, you keep everything in front of you. But you can't give up the big play like that. 11
plays, 75 yards. They did it in 5 minutes, 51 seconds, and almost 6 minutes. Mitch Trubisky and the Bears respond. Now you're up, Brock Osweiler, with 3 minutes left in this football game. And I go back to something that Coach Matt Nagy told us about Mitch Trubisky. He said the important thing I told him, especially the first couple of games of the season, when you make a mistake, forget that play like it never happened. And he said he's done a great job of that lately. You saw it in their win against Tampa with all those 6 touchdowns, and it's a great job there because he throws the interception there right there, and they're in the red zone. The Dolphins score, and then he comes and drives them right back for another touchdown as well, as Cody Parkey will come in to kick things away. So here comes Brock Osweiler. 22 of 35. He's thrown for 244. He's got 2 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, starting for Ryan Tannehill. Injured his throwing shoulder last week against Cincinnati. Had an MRI on the shoulder on Friday. Worked out this morning. Told the team he couldn't go. Brian Custer, Greg Jennings, Doug Gottlieb's rolling the sidelines for us. Mike Pereira back in LA. Here's 1st and 10. Osweiler throws complete. That's Albert Wilson. Albert Wilson's loose again. Albert Wilson down the sideline. Albert Wilson has scored again. What a game here in Miami.
This is fun. This is you can't get any better than this. Again, Brock Osweiler answers the call, gets the ball into Albert Wilson's hands, and he does the rest. He absolutely did the rest. I'm at a loss for words, because when you have guys who can make plays, it's paramount to just get the ball in their hands. Jakeem Grant, Albert Wilson, Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, Kenyon Drake. You have these guys on your roster for a reason. Utilize them, and they will make you proud, and he just did right there.
Albert Wilson, 75 yards. He's got 4 catches, 151 yards receiving. Extra points good. We're tied up once again with 3 minutes left in this one. Man, let's recap. Trubisky to Cohen. And the Bears have been rolling, but it's been this guy, Albert Wilson. Kenny Stills, 2-point conversion. We were tied up. Trubisky came right back to the rookie, Anthony Miller. But first play, right over the middle. And then Albert Wilson, 75 yards to tie things up here. That's a career-high receiving night here for Albert Wilson. He's got 151 to go along with his 2 touchdowns. Second career 100-yard game receiving.
Coming into this game, the Chicago Bears were a stingy defense, not giving up more than 16 points per game. The Miami Dolphins offense not scoring more than 20 points per game, and they both have knocked those out of the window today because they've been able to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers, and they've made plays when they got it.
That's a great point. You know, Miami, their offense coming into this game was ranked 29th in the NFL. They were averaging just 17 points a game. In fact, only the Cowboys, the Bills, and the Cardinals score less than the Dolphins, but they put up 28 here on the second best defense in the National Football League.
I got to give credit to Brock Osweiler. He's done a great job. Has he thrown a couple interceptions? Of course, but he has not stopped. He has not quit on this football team. He has put them in position to where they can win this ball game.
Knows the system very well. Was with Adam Gase when he got drafted in the second round by Denver. Back to his Gase, who said Osweiler's the guy you ought to take in that draft. Here's Cunningham. Cunningham to the 20, brought down there at about the 21. Less than 3 minutes left, so here comes Mitch Trubisky. So far in the second half, 9 of 13, 199 yards passing, 3 TDs for the second-year pro out of North Carolina.
Can he do it again? Can he take his team down and put points on the board again?
I don't put it past him the way this game has gone. Buckle up, everybody. Here we go. It's loud here at Hard Rock Stadium. Trubisky. Complete. Robinson across the 35, brought down at the 37. Kiko Alonso makes the stop.
That's exactly what you want to start a drive that may be the game-winning drive. You got just a quick little hitch route. You run right behind the defender that's flying out to the flat. The quarterback hits you, turn upfield. It's on you to make some more things happen after you get the ball in your hands.
Coming up on the 2-minute warning, Tariq Cohen's at the top of your screen. Here's Trubisky, quickly. And that play blown up. Xavier Howard makes the stop. Taylor Gabriel, as soon as he caught it. Two-minute warning here. We're tied up at 28. Just how good has Mitch Trubisky been lately? Look at the first 15 games of his career, 9 TDs, a total. Last 2 games, he's got 9 already. And we're tied up. 2 minutes left. To Tariq Cohen, middle of the field. Fumble the football! It's loose! And the Dolphins come up with it. Kiko Alonso calls the fumble. Xavier Howard recovers.
What a game. Same play that they ran earlier when he struck big. Out of the backfield, runs the short post, and he's just trying to make more, get more yards. Great job by Kiko Alonso forcing that fumble.
What else can happen in this football game?
I can tell you what else. The Miami Dolphins can take this ball and put it in the end zone.
Spoken like a true former Dolphin. How about that? There's Tarico. What a game he's had as well, too. 7 catches, 92 yards. He's got to score. Well, here comes Brock Osweiler. Under 2 minutes. Osweiler. Plenty of time. And throws, but incomplete. He was trying to dump it off to Kenyon Drake, and Drake was saying, look, I got knocked down, but no flag.
Yeah, that's always frustrating anytime you're trying to perform the scramble drill. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, and you get tripped up, but he got tripped up intentionally by Danny Trevathan. I think the officials missed that one right there. Smart play by Danny, though, not to let him get it.
2nd and 10. Quickly. And Albert Wilson. Ooh, and there's a stick by Eddie Johnson. Third down coming. You can see Osweiler. 4 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter and overtime. The last one, you got to go back a couple of years ago. Week 6 against the Colts.
If I'm the Chicago Bears, I understand what has been transpiring. My eyes are all over Albert Wilson.
And there he is, Wilson. And he is swarmed by Bears. Under a minute now.
You start to get to the point where you know a guy has made plays and you see what they're trying to get done. Now all of a sudden it's a matter of, are you going to allow him to continue to impose his will?
Well, you can see the Dolphins 16-5 in 1-score games. Go back 2 years. 3-0 though this season. And we certainly want to welcome all of those who watched Washington beat Carolina 23-17 here in Miami Gardens. Brian Custer along with Greg Jennings. We've got Doug Gottlieb rolling the sidelines. Mike Pereira back in LA. It is 28 all. 41 seconds.
And it has been all excitement, especially in this second half. Lighting up the scoreboard, play after play, game wreck after game wreck.
Keep in mind, no Ryan Tannehill. Brock Osweiler got the start. Tannehill hurt his throwing shoulder in the game against Cincinnati last week. Worked out this morning, couldn't go, so Brock Osweiler got the start. Adam Gase is going to punt it away as Matt Hawk comes in to punt things away. He would have been looking at about a 58-yard field goal had they gone for it. Good punt. And they down it at the 6.
And in that situation, you have to punt it. You have to play the field game. When you look at what both teams have been able to do as far as offensively and moving the ball and getting into scoring position, it hasn't been all too hard or too difficult for either team in this second half. So you play the field game and you pin them back deep and allow your defense to do what they have done for you in this second half when it mattered. But if I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm not changing anything up. I'm going to try to move this ball down the field, and it looks like that's not what they're going to do.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go take this one to overtime as they take the knee. And we want to welcome Want to welcome the audience who watched Minnesota defeat Arizona. All tied up here. Miami Gardens, 28 all. Looks like the Bears here will take a knee, and we're going to have some bonus football here. We're going to go to overtime.
Yeah, and I struggle personally with just allowing the game to just go right into overtime. You never know what can happen on any given play. We've seen big play after big play in this second half, and you just want to give your team a chance, but now it's really the flip of a coin.
Well, give you the rules here for overtime. Keep in mind here, both teams will have an opportunity to get the football. Now, if the first team who possesses the football scores a touchdown, the game is over. But if a team gets a field goal, the other team gets an opportunity as well. You're going to play one 10-minute quarter. Both teams will get a couple of timeouts. We've had a number of times already this season.
Yeah, the 6th straight week with an overtime game. When I look at this game, though, I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Captains, we will play one modified sudden death overtime period. 10 minutes will be a 10-minute quarter. Fourth quarter timing rules will be in effect. Each team will have 2 timeouts. All instant replay will be initiated by the replay official in the booth. Each team will have an opportunity to possess the ball unless there's a touchdown or a defensive score made. At the end of the 10-minute period, if the game is still tied, then the game is over. Chicago's the visiting team. We'll call the toss. The red helmet is heads. The American Eagle is tails. What is your call? Tails. The call is tails. It is heads. Miami's won the toss. They'll receive. Which way do you want to kick? I'm kick that way. Miami won and will receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
So Brock Osweiler and those Dolphins will get first crack at it in overtime. 28 all is our score. Take a look at the game summary here as we get ready for overtime. 28 all. Both teams over 400 yards total offense. 3 turnovers by the Bears. 2 turnovers by the Dolphins. Big gaze with Taylor Gabriel and Albert Wilson. Parkey the kick. Jakeem Grant with the touchback, and here comes Brock Osweiler. And keep in mind, his first career start led the Broncos to a victory over the Bears. Osweiler beat the Bears again when he played for the Texans. So he has faced the Bears in the first start of all 3 of his NFL teams he's played for in his career. He's playing for Ryan Tannehill. Here we go. First play of overtime. Frank Gore in the backfield. And they get it to Wilson. Eddie Jackson makes the stop. We got a flag.
Illegal block in the back, number 80, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's on Danny Amendola. An illegal block.
Yeah, when you look at this play, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you're again trying to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers. I don't know if that's a block in the back. You have the 1-yard grace to where you can block off the line. But the Miami Dolphins are clearly trying to get the ball into the hands of Albert Wilson, and the Bears have identified that, and they are not going to allow him to beat them.
Well, why wouldn't you? 155 yards receiving. Here's the draw to Gore. Gore up the middle. Frank Gore keeps the legs churning. Eddie Jackson makes the stop. We got about half of that back. So 2nd and 11. Osweiler will come under center. There's Khalil Mack. Mack is at the top of your screen. No sack, 4th fumble for him thus far. And that's a throwaway. Let's get a game break in Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Brian. So, great game here. Steelers down by 1 with 15 seconds left, and Ben Roethlisberger finds who else? Antonio Brown takes it 31 yards. 2-point conversion was good. Steelers win this one 28-21. Brian?
All right, CT, thanks. Close one there in the jungle.
Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, been doing it for a long time.
Long time, man. Here we go, 3rd and 11. Dolphins have converted 50% of these third down opportunities today. 7 of 14. 2 seconds on the play clock. Snaps it with 1. Osweiler. Chased. Throws on the run. Caught! He was throwing it to Amendola. It went off of Adrian Amos Jr. And Kenny Stills makes the catch.
It's just been one of those days where if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. A ball gets deflected. Kenny Stills, right place, right time. Osweiler, give him credit for extending the play, keeping the play alive, and keeping his eyes down the field.
Look what I found. 35-yard pickup. Now they're in Chicago territory. And here comes Kenyon Drake. He's grabbed by Akeem Hicks. You know, Chicago came into today second most sacks in the league with 18, none today.
And this is one of the reasons why we thought the Chicago Bears had the advantage, specifically with Brock Osweiler under center. He's not as mobile as Ryan Tannehill. The offensive line has been riddled with injuries, so your expectations are the Chicago Bears are going to get after the quarterback, and they just haven't done it.
Here's 2nd and 8. Gore up the middle. Frank Gore breaks loose. Inside the 10 and brought down at the 7-yard line. Bryce Callahan saved the game-winning score. 32-yard pickup for Frank Gore.
And we heard when Adam Gase talked about Frank Gore in the production meeting, he was so high on this guy because of his ability that he knows I can trust you. He said, when Frank Gore tells me I'm going to get you 5 yards, I know and trust he's going to get me 5 yards.
Frank Gore,
big run right there.
4 yards away from 100 on the day. And we certainly want to welcome all of you who watched the Atlanta Falcons, who got a victory over Tampa. We are here in Miami Gardens, all tied up at 28 here in overtime. Let's recap, because this one's been a wild one.
It has.
I mean, especially in the second half, the Bears on their first 3 possessions scored touchdowns. Miami came back, 75-yard touchdown by Albert Wilson. And then just like that, Chicago came right back. They were matching each other touchdown for touchdown at one point in this football game. Here's the Wilson touchdown. Brock Osweiler, of course, getting the start for Ryan Tannehill, who couldn't play because of his injured throwing shoulder. And it looks like he is on the verge of possibly leading the Dolphins to a victory over the Bears. This guy would be 4-0 against the Chicago Bears in his career.
This has been a heavyweight bout. I mean, counter punch after counter punch. You punch me, I punch you back, and that's what we've had all afternoon, specifically from the second half on. It's just been fireworks here in Miami Gardens Hard Rock Stadium.
Gore 4 yards away from 100. Last time the Dolphins have had a 100-yard rusher, you got to go back to week 17 of last year. And the Bears, again, the only team that's not given up a rushing touchdown this season. Here's Gore. He's trying to get to the edge. Frank Gore brought down at the 1. Kyle Fuller saved the touchdown.
What an effort by Frank Gore, getting out on the edge and just trying to outrun the defensive back, Kyle Fuller. And we saw right there Roquan Smith in full-on pursuit to help assist his teammate Kyle Fuller there.
First 100-yard rusher this season. Here is second and goal. Gore and Drake in the backfield. They give it to Gore, straight ahead. And the Bears defense toughen up. They bear down. They're going to mark it at the 1. Roquan Smith is the first one to get in there.
How about this game, though? How about this? You enter into a game without your starting quarterback. You've only been averaging 17 points. You don't put up any in the first half. If you're the Chicago Bears, you come out 21 straight points. Miami answers every time.
Adam Gase is going to call a timeout. You saw Frank Gore was gassed. I'm sure they want to give him a breather. So they'll be looking at 3rd and goal. A touchdown, and Miami comes away with a victory. And this was one of those games, show-me type games. So for the Dolphins, I guess the question, especially here, was, is this the Dolphin team? Is it they're more reflective of a team that started off 3-0 or the team that has dropped their last 2?
Yeah, when you look at the Miami Dolphins, their wins came in the first 3 weeks of the season, and then when they played teams above 500, they dropped those last 2 games, one being last week when they had a 17-point lead in that ball game. And then you have the Chicago Bears on the other side who are saying, well, we're coming off a bye. We want to see if we can continue with the momentum that we have going right now. And it's coming down to inches right now for the Chicago Bears.
Gave the Bears, Coach Nagy gave the Bears his players a whole week off. They conditioned in the heat, he said, to try to get them ready here for Miami. Here we go, 3rd and goal. They give it to Drake. He leaned and lost the ball. He leaned in and lost the football. Mad scramble at the bottom of the pile. Let's see who has it.
And the Bears, it appears that the Bears have the ball.
By the defense.
Eddie Goldman comes up with the football. I can't believe it.
You have got to be kidding me. We have seen 2 fumbles at the goal line for both teams this afternoon.
Jordan Howard did it. And you saw Drake was losing it before.
The ruling on the field of a fumble is under further review.
Akeem Hicks comes up with the big hit that knocks that one loose, and Eddie Goldman comes up the recovery.
This is clearly a fumble. He's clearly losing control of the football before he ever even hits the ground. And one is to wonder, I know Frank Gore may be gassed, but that's why you brought him to Miami. That's why you have him in the backfield, because you know you can trust him.
Right there, as that reach in, that's when he started losing it. And the Bears, it looks right now, still have not given up a rushing touchdown.
Akeem Hicks just clearly just beat Jesse Davis as if he was never even present. You can't, as an offensive lineman in that situation, you can't get beat that cleanly, that quickly, because although Kenyon Drake fumbled.
Ruling on the field of a defensive recovery in the end zone stands. It's Chicago's ball at the 20-yard line.
So I was saying, you can't, when you get beat that quickly, you're running back, you're not anticipating getting hit. And so when you're not looking or anticipating the contact, you're not quite ready, prepared for that contact, and thus the fumble on the goal line.
And you see the towel over the head of Drake. He is definitely in his feelings. Boy, As he lost that one at the goal line. That's unbelievable.
Was that a shot right there?
No, I'm just it's just a playoff word, that's all. Man, let's go to Los Angeles, bring in Mike Pereira. And Mike, it looked like to me that hit, and he was losing it before he hit the goal line. What'd you see?
Clearly it was a fumble. What they had to look at was the recovery. Was the recovery in the end zone, which they ruled it was to make it a touchback. Ball was touching the line, and therefore that recovery makes it a touchback. They stayed with that.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. So that pass is complete to Trey Burton. Pickup of 5. So now it'll be 2nd and 5 here for Chicago.
And that's a huge call, because if you're the Bears and you're Miami, you get the ball on the 1-yard line going out. It's a huge difference versus the 20-25-yard line.
And keep in mind here, next score wins it. Howard breaks free. Brought down at the 46-yard line by Rashad Jones.
Jordan Howard with a little bit of redemption. Like, look, I fumbled at the goal line. You fumbled at the goal line. Give me the ball. I guarantee he won't fumble again.
19-yard pickup.
We see Kenyon Drake on the sideline. All you can hope for is that your team picks you up and comes up with a stop, and you have another opportunity.
3 turnovers for both squads here today. Another game up the middle. Howard's loose again. And he's got a first down as Jerome Baker grabbed him, held on, and brought him down. Under 4 minutes left in this one. A pickup of 15.
And now keep in mind, because the Miami Dolphins have already possessed the ball, the Chicago Bears only need a field goal. They don't need to score a touchdown to win this ball game.
Bears come into this one at 3-1, trying to go 4-1. They were 1-4 at this time last year. The give, they're going. He's wrapped up at the 40. And you can see Cody Parkey. Right now he would be looking at about in fact, Parkey, a former Dolphin. His long is a 54 yards. That's Benny Cunningham.
It was a high snap. That was a great job by Mitch Trubisky to get a hold of that ball and get it down and hand it off. Again, all you need is to get into field goal range and give yourselves a chance to walk out of Hard Rock Stadium with a win.
So right now we're at about his range for his career long. Career long for him is 54. He would be looking at about a 52-yarder right about now. Cody Parkey, 5th year out of Auburn. They're going to call a timeout here. Talk to me about these Bears. What have you seen out of Mitch Trubisky?
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of growing up today. Can he stand in the pocket? Can he make plays? We know and understand who he is with the ball, running it with his legs, using his legs, escaping the pocket. But he's been able to stand in the pocket, make throws down the field. Accuracy has been shown. I've seen a lot out of the young quarterback today. Matt Nagy has to be proud because he talked about making sure you are who you are. Like, be you and throw the ball with conviction.
Are the Bears for real?
Oh, of course. The Bears are definitely for real. Anytime you can come off a bye and you have momentum going into the bye week and you come back onto the field of play and you give yourself a chance to win a game against a good Miami Dolphins defense or team, you are for real.
They're trying to turn around 4 straight losing seasons, finishing at the bottom of the NFC North. The give is to Howard. He powers his way for just a couple. Andre Branch with the stop. We've hit the 2-minute warning. In overtime, Bears with a chance to win it when we come back. Tied up at 28 here in overtime. 2 minutes left. And it's all on the shoulders of Cody Parkey because of his fumble. Kenyon Drake fumble there at the goal line. He's a Jupiter, Florida native. Parkey, he's got 5 career game-winning field goals in the fourth quarter and overtime. His career long, 54 yards, and it came last year when he was a Miami Dolphin.
Yeah, before that timeout, Nagy decided to run the ball. I haven't questioned too many of his calls, but they're 67% on third down, 8 for 12. I thought he would give his offense a better chance.
The snap, the kick for the win, and it's wide right.
And that's why I question that third down play call, because you've been so effective third and short, third and 5 to 6 of converting those third downs. Don't stop. You can get more yards. Make it a more manageable kick for your kicker.
You know, if you look at that replay, Patrick Scales, that snap was a little low, so he had to kind of get it off the ground. Pat O'Donnell did the holder for Parkey. Not to make any excuses for him, but that's the first thing that kind of jumped out at me on that field goal try. Again, next score wins here, and so the Dolphins get a reprieve here. They get another possession. Under 2 minutes left in this one.
Hey, take two. You're hot. Apple.
Kenyon Drake is back in the game. He's in the backfield. He's got the rock. Leonard Floyd brings him down.
You know, now this becomes a game of how many yards do we need to put ourselves in position to have a game-winning field goal attempt.
They're going to need about 32.
And that's about 30 yards.
Yeah, they're going to need about 32 because his career long is 50 for Sanders. In fact, he kicked that 50-yarder today. Here's 2nd and 6. Over the middle. Complete. Drake. Brought down by Eddie Jackson.
That has to be a great feeling for the young player, Kenyon Drake, to be able to make another play and extend this drive and give your team an opportunity to continue playing and a potential opportunity at winning this game.
Pick up a 15. Need about 6 more yards for a 50-yard field goal. 40 seconds left. Drake again. He picks up a couple. We've got about 30 seconds.
Right now, the only thing going through the mind of Kenyon Drake and everything that's being told to him right now is put 2 hands on the football. Keep 2 hands on the football. Do not let anyone take 2 hands off that football.
Jason Sanders there, you see him. Matt Hawk will be the guy holding it for him. So the Dolphins are now out of timeouts. No Frank Gore. Who has over 100 yards rushing. He's got 102. So they go empty set here, the Dolphins. They go 4 wide.
Miller. We're good. Hey, take the mark.
Got to be to the outside, wherever it is. And it's caught. Danny Amendola.
It didn't look like he got the first down.
Let's see if they're going to spike here. Get up on the line and spike it. Make sure his guys are lined up.
Going to run that play clock down.
He's going to run it down because he wants to make sure they get the field goal off. He spikes it. So we got 3 seconds left for Jason Sanders, and he's looking at about a 47-yard field goal.
And when you're watching at home, you automatically say, well, the kicker, he has to make these kicks. But when you are a player and you're on the football field and you have not been on the football field, you get into these moments and there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of buildup. There's a lot of anxiety, which is why we've seen so many field goals being missed this season.
Looks like Coach Nagy wants to freeze him a little bit. This will be Sanders' first attempt at a game-winning field goal. He was a 7th-round pick by the Dolphins here in the draft this year.
Made a 50-yarder earlier in the game, but the pressure was nowhere near what he's experiencing right now.
Yeah, Sanders 2 for 2 so far today. Hit a career-long 50-yarder. Also knocked in a 25-yarder. This is from 47 yards out. This one will be. The snap, the kick for the win. It's good. Dolphins win it in overtime. And Kenyon Drake says hallelujah.
That is a great feeling.
Dolphins remain unbeaten here at home.
What a game. What a game.
And the Bears winning streak ends at 3. As he nails it. First game winner for Sanders. And how about Brock Osweiler?
He did a great job.
Coming in relief, gets the victory. 31-28. Brock says yes.